Hey guys, it's Postbox Pat and welcome back to a new video, and today I'm going to be telling you guys how to build like a pro after the 3.0 update. So we had the 3.0 update, there's a bunch of new stuff which has been added in. I want to go into a little bit of details on that, also talk about how this is going to help you in the future within your Fortnite Battle Royale game. So currently I've just dropped in and I'm just running around just trying to get some resources and stuff. I'm actually being chased down by a guy and I'm thinking to myself, you know, we need to get some resources so I can show you guys exactly what I mean by this. But if you didn't know, there are 3 new settings that have been added into building that have changed the entire of building on console, PC, whatever you're playing on. This has really changed it a lot. We have reset building choice, which was already in the game. We've got turbo building, which I'll go over in a moment, which you guys do need to use and use it correctly. And we also have auto material change. Now I want to go over the tutorial, like the idea of them in a moment, but what exactly am I trying to point at here? Well, I actually made a video on how to build really cool, like really fast and stuff in the older update or the older version, which has done amazing. It's had over 400,000 views. A lot of people find it very useful. I personally go back to that video several times to watch exactly what I do and show off some like tips and tricks from it, basically with the different stairs and stuff like that, which I'm going to go over again a little bit but not touch it as much. But I'm going to show you guys some stuff which is really detailed compared to that last one, which is definitely going to help you improve your building. So after I take this guy out, we'll get straight into that. Nice little swift kill there, easily done, and that will really help us out within some like resource gathering, and let's get straight into it. So let's skip to the moment I'm grinding all the resources. I've got all the resources I need to show this off, and what exactly am I going to show off? So let's go into my settings first and show you guys some stuff in the settings. So in settings, you've got a few different options. You've got 60 FPS. This can really help you improve your like movement speed and stuff like that. I recommend keeping it on. I'm just turning it off for like some demonstration purposes, and then obviously I'm going to take my make sure my reset buildings on, make sure my turbo buildings on, and make sure your auto materials on, auto material change. So make sure all them 3 are on, and that will really help you guys out, improve your building. And as you can see, you can spin around extremely fast to build stuff. Remember, with your pyramid, make sure you set that to your stairs if you're using your pyramid. Obviously I haven't done this in this situation because I wasn't actually playing the first like screen bit, so I didn't really have time to set up my pyramid in the loading screen. But for the purpose of this video, I'm just demonstrating that if you don't set it up, you can mess up. However, if you want to use the old method, go into the normal stairs, that's perfectly fine. I'll go over some advantages of the pyramid in a moment, which is really useful, and some stuff which can confuse players a lot. So you can set up your pyramid like this, well, you can set it up anyway, but I like to set it up like the stairs because it's actually quicker to change to your pyramid. And the good thing about this new ability with turbo building, you can hold down your right trigger or hold down your mouse button, and you don't have to keep pressing it to place items. That means you can build stairs extremely fast when going up. For example, here now I'm holding down. It's very useful for pushing people. You can do 2 columns of stairs very, very quickly, either using the ramp or the stairs. It's personal preference what you want to use. There's disadvantages to the ramp, but there also are advantages to it. After a lot of experience with it, I will go over some of them in a moment. So as you can see, I'm just grinding some more resources, but you can do that so quick using your turbo build. So make sure you do have that turned on, because you can see how quickly I can build 1 by 1. So let's just find some flatlands so we can get a nice little 1 by 1 demonstration going on here. All right, so we've got a nice little 1 by 1. Look how quick I can spin around and build a 1 by 1. Now, if I was to use even faster sensitivity, I could build this double the speed. Personally, I don't like to use fast sensitivity, and that's just my personal preference. I've moved up to 5 now, and I'm slowly trying to get a bit faster, but it is personal preference, and it's up to you guys what sensitivity you want to use. I would recommend using a faster sensitivity if you want to build even faster with turbo build, because you'll be able to spin around and build some crazy stuff. Now, after I've gone through these tutorials, I'm going to show you guys some footage and advantages and disadvantages of using the like pyramid and stuff, but you can see how quick I can build here. This is super building. This is basically advanced. Like, you can basically become so good at building by doing this. It's absolutely ridiculous. Now, it does make a lot of the player balance a lot more equal, because a lot more players can become kind of better at the game than they used to be, because you don't have to tap to build. So there's actually a guy in front of me here, and I actually run out of resources and I'm like, damn. So if you do run out of resources and you are in a situation where you do run out, you can hold R to repair what you've just placed, like I did there. Unfortunately, this guy didn't shoot at me. I knew how to take him out. And then this is a completely different entire video here, pushing people's ramps, but there is a technique you can do, and I used it there. There's many different techniques you can use, but I used one technique there and it worked very well. But I'm going to make an entire video on pushing ramps and stuff in the future, which will be hopefully a pretty cool video, so stay tuned for that if you are interested in that. I've got some amazing tips you can use to push people like that, or defend against someone's push, which will eventually come in the future. I just haven't got around to making that, but it is pretty cool, and I do really enjoy doing these building tips and tricks. So what else is there when you're actually doing stuff? Now, you've got the idea of the auto material change. Now, what that does, if you've actually, say you've got 10 wood, but you've got 60 stone and you're set to your wood and you're building really fast in battle and you use your 10 wood and you're like, oh, I'm going to have to change it, but I have forgot to do it. but your auto material change will switch to the stone automatically without even you pressing a button, which can really help out when speed building to defend, when speed building to push. Depending on what you're doing with your building materials, this can really help you guys out build a lot quicker within the game. And you have to have it on. Well, you don't have to, but personally I would recommend having it on because it helps out so many times, especially on the console edition, when sometimes you can't hit that button to switch. Maybe you're doing something else with your fingers or something while you're playing. Maybe you've got them on a different button or set to maybe your stick, or maybe you're playing the claw or something, and you can't switch to that change button. You just maybe don't have the free moment to get to it, and then you've got to, well, auto change is really going to help you out for that. So I personally do like that. And then here's another little swift kill with me. I was going to try and push that guy with a ramp, but I thought, there is no point of pushing him with a ramp. So let me show you guys some ideas of using the ramps and stuff for pushing rather than using this pyramid, should I say. I like to call on the ramp because it's basically a ramp rather than stairs. Using the pyramid to push, and I'll show you guys exactly what I mean by that and why I personally prefer it, but there are disadvantages to it, and I will show you guys that. So let's get into that. So as you can see, starting off, I'm actually going to do this by building up. You can actually build up really quickly using this technique, and personally it's probably one of my favorite techniques to use to actually take out people, especially when you're building up to hills. Now another good thing you can use with this is when you're actually pushing someone, you can kind of get it on the side of stuff quite easily, and it's a lot easier to switch to, which is really awesome. However, I do have one of the major disadvantages to using the pyramid right here on screen right now. So what I'm doing is I'm actually getting targeted from people about north, and I'm kind of just stood here just chilling, and next minute we get grenaded and shot at and stuff. And this is the downside to using the pyramid. Now the pyramid can kind of glitch behind you, and what's basically happened here is one behind me has been placed, which I didn't mean to intend to happen, and that's kind of bad for me because they actually reflect a grenade off that in a moment, and that actually loses 75 of my shield, which is quite annoying. So that's the downside to it, but other than that there is actually no downside to this. Sometimes when you're actually building up, you might want to kind of just not use it. Maybe you could use your normal stairs and stuff depending on the situation, but personally I probably would just keep using these. Now you can actually, the good thing as well, you can actually switch your stairs to the backwards position. So if you put your stairs to the backwards position, you can use them to get down from steep mountains rather than doing that jumping thing. Say if the storm's chasing you or something, it's a lot easier to use that other than to do the jumping thing, because there's several times where I've done the jumping thing, jumping down using either flats or stairs, where you've taken quite a bit of fall damage, and it's kind of frustrating for that to happen, and it happens all the time, especially if you're trying to run from the storm. This is definitely the most effective way, and I would definitely recommend it for anyone who hasn't tried it yet. It's really awesome. If you're maybe in a fight, I probably wouldn't recommend it because someone could shoot you down, but if you're not in a fight and you've got the situation to do it like I did then, you can clearly do it nice and easy. It's very helpful when you're in the storm. Just try that out next time you're in the storm. Now the next one I'm going to show you is just pretty simple. It's just me actually switching to the stairs very quickly as soon as I actually come against someone, which is useful. It's a really useful technique. I actually did kind of a little double pump thing, but not exactly in this situation. I'm probably going to make a video on that in the future as well, talking a little bit about that, but right now it's not really needed. But here I have my little thing going up with my ramps, and I'm kind of just using them to block the bullets, which work really well. I switched to it very quickly, get 2 shotgun shots off and get the kill. Very easily done. The next clip I want to show you guys is actually a clip from my friend Rain Hunters. He actually shows some building techniques which are absolutely insane with high sensitivity. Now this can come when you've got high sensitivity. You don't necessarily have to use the ramp. He actually uses the stairs, and he actually has his thing turned off where he builds rapid. So it's pretty interesting. This is before the update came out, this clip, so you want to see the speed that Rain Hunters builds in this. This is insane. This is probably one of the fastest building I've ever seen on console edition. It's just mad. Well done to Rain Hunters for actually pulling this off, but he does use very high sensitivity. I think he either uses 9 or 8. I'm not too sure if he uses 10, but he definitely uses 9 or 8. I went in this clip anyway. I was talking to him about it. And the final clip I want to show you guys is this. Here I'm just using the stairs to basically build up to a sniper tower, and I actually position myself up here. Now the good thing about using the stairs again was the switching ability to be able to switch to them very quickly. But not only that, you can actually change the pattern of them, which you'll see in a moment. So currently I'm up here, and I decided to kind of just sit on top of the sniper tower. I wasn't too sure why I'd do this. I just thought, we may as well try it. There's nothing else really to do in this situation because I'm in the circle. So I decided to set up a little base up here. This is a very key tip you can use in any situation. Right now I'm looking on my map which would be the best way to view out. Now the good thing about the stairs is you can actually set them to view out all directions. If you edit them, it's probably best to edit them, because if you don't edit them, you're going to have a weird shape, which I'll show you guys in a moment when you can edit them. So I'm editing them like this. You can have it like this. You can see out any direction. Currently I'm going underneath because I can hear someone above me. You can get underneath these stairs just like you can with the other stairs. So if you get the hang of editing them and getting the patterns right, you'll be able to go up and down your tower like a flash. It's very easy to do. You just got to get used to it and learn to do it. So here, I built a little hole for myself to drop down if required, because I can hear someone around me. I hear grenades pop in. Unfortunately, I do drop into the grenades, but then I say to myself, you know what, Pat, let's get revenge on this guy. We'll drink some potions very quickly while he doesn't see us on the stairs. I see him moving around there. We only get one potion drunk, get a nice little shotgun shot off there, then we switch to the AR and just spray him down easily and get the kill off. Very easily done. Now, the final clip I want to show you guys is this one here. This actually involves me editing the pyramid piece or the ramp to a very good position where you can view out all angles. This position, not this one here, this is an awesome position for a corner piece, but you can edit it so you can see out of all angles. Now, what I mean by this is it has that kind of like sloping effect on both sides, and you can go on either side and get a view of near enough every angle on the map, and you can kind of just have one piece overall, so it doesn't mean you have to keep consistently rotating. And the good thing about that in this situation, I was able to jump up and get a nice little kill on this guy trying to sneak up my ramp. He was going so quietly I could only just hear him, and I managed to get an easy kill on him. So that technique is very useful, and that's all of my building tips I can give you guys currently. If any more do come to my mind, or I do find some extra ones, I will be making another video on this. But I hope you guys have enjoyed today's video. Don't forget to leave a like, comment and subscribe, and if you are new around here, stick around for some awesome Fortnite content, because we do have some awesome content coming out in the future. So I hope you guys have enjoyed, and once again, this is Postbox Pat, signing out.